Folks, this is a follow-up on the unboxing of this beautiful machine. This is the Microsoft Surface Book, the latest edition, I believe. This is the Core i5 edition, the low spec model, the smallest you can get. It's still £1,300 worth of kit, though it's currently on sale for £1,000 on Amazon. And when I say for sale, this isn't the bargain of the century. We'll cover this later. I had yesterday a little bit of time on my hands, and I produced what I can only call a rant. I ranted and I ranted and I ranted about this. The problems of this unit, of Microsoft's website, Microsoft software, of things that annoyed me. I'm not even sure how long that rant is, but it will be the end of this video. I will just play it in its entirety, unedited, in this stream. Because I think it's only fair that you hear it. But what we're going to cover tonight is some of the impracticalities with this. Now, I've spent the rest of the week using this unit, okay? And to the 3 people that have got back to me privately and talked about it, you're more than welcome for the time, fellas. It's no problem at all. So the one guy that posted publicly and I replied to, for some reason his message has disappeared now. I have no idea why it's gone now, but fuck you, okay? I'm not an idiot. Far from it. I have a degree in this crap, and I spend a lot of time trying to help people, and the point of these is to help people, not to stroke your ego. You created one Google account with 0 content, 0 input, 0 output, and commented on my video that I'm an idiot. You're a lonely idiot. So there we go. That's a quote, by the way. That's from Linus Torvalds. It is fuck you. Like I said, fuck you to Microsoft. But I do use Microsoft Windows as a daily driver. And I have not used Windows 10 until this very machine turned up. Tried Windows 10 on a virtual machine, but never a real machine. So this is my first real machine with Windows 10 on it. I've got used to some things, some counterintuitive things here. It's still on my Wi-Fi, obviously. I haven't bought a USB to Ethernet converter for it. I haven't got one. I don't own one. So I can't test it at full speed like that. I did notice that every single accessory for this device is quite expensive. Now this machine is £1,300 worth. Okay, I think that is a lot of money. And you're basically paying for this lovely, and it is lovely, case. Okay, but we'll go through some of the impracticalities of it in a moment. For it not to come with a dock or some sort of Ethernet or something like that wasn't perfect, especially since it depends on online content. Now, when I set this up, folks, I set it up with my Microsoft account online, and I have since removed that and gone with a local account only. But if I turn this off and turn this back on, right here, you need to see it on this picture. It picks these lovely pictures at random, but it's not going to do about it. Just here it says 20 mails. Who from? There isn't 20 mails on my online account waiting to be read. There aren't 20 mails any account I've got. Where does it find 20 mails from? I don't even know. You can't touch it, you can't do anything. All you can do is swipe this out of the way. So I have no idea why it's stuck like that. There are a few of these, okay? So what I've decided to do is decide, as Mary Poppins did, I'm going to decide from this unit quite how practically imperfect. There. How practically imperfect can this be? And if you don't get the reference, tough. This is my original unboxing stream. You'll find a link for that below in the description. And the rant will be later. So let's talk about the impracticalities of this unit. First of all, as we spoke before, there is a battery in the base and a battery in the top. They both have to charge independently. If you've used this at all independently as a tablet, it has to charge back up. So far this evening, this has been on charge for 2 hours. Okay, it was not flat when it was charging. It still needs an hour, 59 minutes still to go until fully charged. The base unit is charged a lot quicker. This is charged at 100% already. This, however, the tablet side is still only 69%. So That's something to be wary of. If you undock the two, first of all, they get out of sync. They're not the same battery usage. It isn't spreading the battery usage either. It seems to use this battery up and top it up from the base unit. So this will stay higher than that one until you undock this one, if that makes sense. So the base will lose power while it's connected together as one whole unit. Once this has drained completely, the tablet's battery will take over and be the only battery you've got. That's fine, I get it, I get the practicality. But the opposite way around, if you detach this and flatten it and then plug this back in, this stays charged and you have to trickle charge through. It doesn't then load balance, it doesn't take the battery from this, it doesn't discharge this battery unnecessarily to charge that one, it just runs it on this one and it stops you undocking again. And that was the problem I was having the other day. So when I was pressing this button, nothing was happening. In fact, now something's happened and I can detach it, absolutely no problem. And it's as quick as that. So it's asking me, do I want to go into full tablet mode? I'm going to select no for now. So this is just the same unit. This is exactly Windows 8, exactly running as it was, just detached. So again, to the person that called me an idiot, if you believe I'm an idiot because I couldn't do that, then you're wrong. So it's just said attached, detached. It's as simple as that. You have to have the battery to do it. This has to have enough charge to achieve it. Now before I just carry on, I'm just going to check that that's charging still. Yeah, it is. This is at 99% now. The top's at 67%. So anyway, it's a beautiful machine. It is extremely pretty. And I sat typing on this the other day. In fact, I sat with my palms here typing on it. It's really nice to work on. It is a nice keyboard. It's not the best keyboard for a programmer. You've got these keys hidden out of the way. You have to swap in and out of function to get different functionality up here. But you can, turn them off and use page up, page down, page end, and all that, and turn it on to start using the actual ability, page up, page down, that kind of stuff, and swap back to the F keys for your builds and stuff. It's fine. I found this is the cursor, so this is left, this is right, this is up and down. I found that a little bit annoying, but it's personal preference. There is USB, you can plug in any keyboard you want, really. Now, what's good about this unit? Well, the screen is fantastic. The resolution, the look of the text on here is fantastic. The major problems I've had have been things like the caret, the actual character input caret disappears. If you've got anything that is 1 pixel height, on this horizontal vanishes. It just goes. If it's just 1 pixel width on this horizontal, it just vanishes. You cannot see it. I had Microsoft Word and then I've had LibreOffice here. When the caret came along, you come to a new line, it sits against a border marker. You could not distinguish the two. You could not see it. Even though it was flashing, you couldn't see it. It was a bit of a problem, but I love this screen. I think the screen is lovely. Now, on this form factor device, I think this is perfect for travel, working, coding, meetings, any kind of stuff that you're trying to do on the go. This is a really nice unit for it. It's comfortable, it's light, it's powerful, it's got so much grunt it's untrue. This is only the Core i5, as I say, but there are 2 cores, 2 threads per core, that's 4 threads at the same time. It's running Windows 10, I know it could run something else, but I'm happy with this. I find this brilliant. I could easily see this as a daily driver when I'm not at a workstation. The problem I have is that I work in proprietary code and I work in stuff that is private to me. So I need to carry with me something that is not going to use up all the disk space on this machine, because there's only 128 gig SSD in this and it's pretty full already with Windows, a few bits and bobs, and I've got VMware on there. I want to be able to put things in there. I haven't got the dock. So what are my solutions? Well, I do carry a series of 16 gigabyte data travelers. So if we plug one of these in, and I will lift it up so that you see. These are the USB ports. Okay, so we've got 2 USB and an SD card port just there. Okay, this is so light as well. I mean, you don't need to worry about that. It's so light. If I plug this in, so there we go. Let's plug it in the furthest one. So we've got 1, 2, and then the SD card. So we'll plug it into the one at the top. Did you notice the first thing? I had to really hold this. This is so light, it moves. Okay, there's no way on a desk to not have to hold it, which is a little bit annoying if you're doing anything. So yeah, this is just the autoplay stuff. I don't care what you want to do with autoplay. This device is now in. Let me lift it back up and show you again. Unfortunately, can you see what's happened? That, because this stick is wider than the USB port, you cannot get anything else in there, which is a problem, a big problem. So if I get another one, there's just no way I can get into that port. It's going to break something. And the thing that's going to give way, these are not fantastic ports. These wobble. These ports wobble. This is an aluminium or wherever it is, steel case. I still haven't looked it up and I still don't really care. It's metal. It is not going to give. The solder on the board is going to give. That port is going to come off, it's going to break, it's going to snap. Something's going to go in that port, not in this case. So that's something to be very wary of. My solution for that, of course, is with a standard USB header where you've only got a little bit of plastic each side. You can, of course, plug one in. And if I grab another one, you can plug another one in next to it. So look how close they are. You can literally, if I hold the white one there, you can literally not see the white one between the two ports. And there's no way with any one of those in you can get that one in. It's going to break. You cannot. So you need to carry, ironically, for a wireless storing everything on the cloud device, stuff like this if you're having to store things locally. And my reason for that is I work in proprietary, private code. It can't go onto GitHub. It can't go onto OneCloud. It can't go up onto Dropbox. It has to stay on my stuff. And if I'm going to clients, if I'm going to meetings and things like that, and I'm presenting potentially private stuff, it has to stay on private storage. This might not be enough. If I've got to have a keyboard in there and this, no hope. No hope at all. So that's a problem. It is a big problem for a traveling data user, power user. If you're only plugging a keyboard in, you've got no problem at all. If you're happy to carry around, other devices, you've got no problem at all. It's literally only if you're using both ports. Two ports are given for a reason. There straight away is a problem with using them. I find that annoying, just to not have them separated a little bit. And I know you can argue that, well, you can't plug two of these in on other devices, but other manufacturers have thought about this. Dell thinks about this. My custom built laptop over there thought about this. This one doesn't. It goes for looks over functionality with those USB ports. So beware. Okay? Other than that, the ports work fine. They're USB 3. They work absolutely fine. And I'm sure it's no problem in the future. But spin forward. Imagine I bought the USB to Ethernet converter. I've plugged in the USB to Ethernet converter. And I've got to now plug one of these in. Well, I'm not going to, am I? I'm going to have to take my USB to Ethernet out and plug this in then. That's unacceptable. Failing that, I need a hub. I need to put a USB hub off this unit. So I'm carrying more things around because it's not in the machine. Now, it's going for a small scale, small weight, but I think that is a real crippling thing for the way I will use this. That is crippling. Okay? Next, memory cards. We insert a memory card. Now you can insert a memory card just by holding this down. You don't need to push back the other way. it picks them instantly. It's fine. I've bought a large one of those, but the problem with using one of those is it's going to stick out all the time. I'd have liked maybe a way of getting that in flush. Maybe, I know space is a premium in here in this whole thing, but I'd like that to have gone all the way in somehow. It would have just been nice. And if not that, then obviously I'm having to use the full size card. Why couldn't we just have the micro SD? If you're going for size, just put the micro in there, you know, like your phone users have to use. You can get 128 gig of them, and they're on added, then it would have been no problem. So far I'm not happy with these ports. Okay, the next problem, and this was one I did point out in my unboxing, I believe, these speakers are terrible. These speakers are rubbish. Okay, so that's where you plug in your headphones. Now, I have wireless Bluetooth headphones, so there isn't a problem. They're quite uncomfortable headphones, actually. I need to update my review. But if I now demonstrate, so I've released this. There's the tablet, okay? Well, this way is up, so switch to this. Now, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to show you anything. So let's imagine we're... I don't want to be in OneNote, actually. I don't want to be in OneNote. Go into here. Okay? So whatever, I've got something on here. So get a pen up. There we go, pen. Now, here's an interesting problem. And I've noticed this problem more than once. Okay, I need to make the pen bigger. Let's just go to pen, size, 20, exit, black, exit. Okay. First of all, I've undocked this unit. You've seen me do nothing. The headphones is here. This is the top. This is the way it would be held. So this is going to dig into my knee. If I'm here working, look, I'm pulling stress all over this, right? And you might say, well, hold it up, hold it up. This is actually quite tiring, quite large to hold. It's far bigger than my hand. This is 13.5-inch screen. It gets, just here is roughly where the processors are, because it gets incredibly hot. And I'm a right-handed user. So I'm getting my hand really warm, not burning, but really warm. And I'm now crippled for position. It's unwieldy. It's not practical. But then look at this problem, and I've had this problem more than once, right? If I start to draw, do you see that? You can't see that because it's still not listening to me. Open, pen, size, custom size 20, blah blah blah, done, done. No, still not doing it. See, this is so annoying because that's pen 1. Pen 1. I can't even see pen 2. Pen 2, no. So, okay, this is ridiculous. I've lost the pen. This is not the tablet. This is the app. Okay. I just want something to draw with that you'll be able to see. Right. Okay, we'll zoom right in. Okay, you can see this now. This is drawing. You can see this. Here we go. We can see this. So I'm drawing away. So whatever I'm doing, yeah, it's fine. But have you noticed that everything is still this way up? That's still the top of the screen, really. It doesn't auto rotate. the way to make it rotate is to bring in the settings. So I've got rotation lock. I think it's on now. Turn it off. See, now it's rotated. See, but it didn't because rotation lock was on. But this is so finicky. It doesn't work right. Okay, if I turn tablet mode off, so back into standard Windows mode, go into all settings, go into system. I've had to use the portrait landscape modes. Okay, and to stop the heat thing, I had to use inverse. It's really annoying. I will come back to that. It isn't a negative yet, but it's something I've had a problem with. Okay, so I'm now out of tablet mode. I'll go back to tablet mode. So I'm back in tablet mode, whatever. You know, I am. You can't even see it yet. It's there we go, just about see. There we go. It's because that from here, like the screen can't really see. This is a very shiny screen. It's a very glossy screen. I like it, but I love this screen. I do like the screen. I don't like how it responds and how things are going, but I hate this. This is what we're really talking about. This at the bottom, it's terrible. If you're using wired headphones, you're going to get them broke. And why is this the bottom? Well, because first of all, the pen doesn't stick there. It doesn't really stick there. It only sticks there. So that makes that the top to me. You know, it's the side when we dock it. So we come to dock it again. Let's just dock it again. There we go, we've docked. Do you want to exit tablet mode? Yes. Yes. Okay. But the screen has stayed sideways on. Do you see? That's now the bottom there, not here. Okay. So if we go now back into, see, rotation lock is off. It is definitely off. I now have to go into all settings. It's stuck in portrait. Look, lock is off. I've not changed anything. Can you see? Look there. Lock is off. Portrait. And I have to select this and go landscape and then apply. And it comes back the way it should be. Okay, now I think things like that, bugs like that are just irresponsible. This is what I was trying to show you a moment ago when I went in and out of tablet mode. But it didn't do it because it does it sometimes, not other times. It just won't rotate for no reason. Okay? You can be, so rotation lock is not even available as an option now because we're not in tablet mode. Put it in tablet mode. Well, we're in tablet mode. For some reason it decides in tablet mode now this is up, but it's not. Go away. So there, it thinks that's the main menu. But bring out the settings. Rotation lock is still grayed. We can't even turn it back on yet. Maybe because we're docked. So, undock. Rotation lock is available, and by default it's on. So it doesn't rotate. So turn rotation lock off. And now it's rotated, but it's decided to rotate, look, when I wasn't really ready. It's really odd. Also, I'm trying desperately not to catch it, and I am catching the edge all the time. Okay? I don't like it. I do not like that. I think the rotation lock mode stuff is rubbish. So we'll put it back on its cradle. Okay, we'll just check it's charging again. Yes, I want to exit that mode. Yes, we're attached. Go away. So let's just go back to the charging. So that little 4A, we're at 77 now. This is still at 100, this is at 77, we're still charging. The other thing I have done is I have paired it with a USB mouse, and I found it a much more enjoyable experience with the USB mouse. This is fine. It's got a click to it, it's fine. I found that right click is very much down here in the bottom right, and there's absolutely no way of scrolling the text, so I needed this for programming. Carrying one of those, not a big deal. This is another item I've had free for review as well. This is the Logitech M535 USB mouse. Decent mouse, tiny size, but again, just as with this USB port, I'm carrying wires. So far, I'm carrying wires all over the place. I'm carrying extra storage. You know, I've still got to carry the power brick and the cable. You know, it's very annoying. The other thing I noticed with the power brick, okay, now I saw and you saw, just here, there is a USB outlet. In fact, I will highlight it by plugging this in. So there is a USB outlet just there. Okay. First of all, this is burning hot. This brick is burning hot, but I am tethered to the wall. The actual wire there is, well, it's 85 centimeters. Okay, it's not even a meter. It's 85 centimeters. So this power brick with this thing at ground level or whatever, it's there. You know, it's fine on a desk if you've got wall-mounted power. If you haven't got wall-mounted power, that's dangling in midair. You've got your phone dangling off it on the floor. It's unacceptable. That is pointless. A nice idea, badly executed. Nice idea, these ports, badly executed. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. This being magnetized is fine. You know you're not going to pull anything out. I can literally just, you know, whoop, it's gone. So it changes this. A feature of this unit, so I was programming on this, I like to program with a dark theme, okay? I like to word process with a light theme, so I have white paper, I write black text on it. When I program, I have a dark background with brighter text on it. It has this ambient light camera up here. This ambient light camera detects the current ambient light situation, and it will brighten and dim the screen light as it sees fit. So if I cover this, it should go really dark. If I shine a light at it, it might go quite bright, quite dim rather. No, it must be detecting sunlight, because I sat in an office with sunlight on this, and it's going to be hard for me to show you this, guys, without recording in the office, and I'm not allowed to do that for legal reasons. But I had this in the office, and I was by a window, and I work by a window every day. As I'm programming, the sun's coming round, and it's going through the shades, it's dappling, and I can see this changing the darkness and the brightness. I can see it going up and down, up and down. It is problematic. Okay. The next problem, and I have found this with a lot of applications. So if I go into, I've got LibreOffice installed because LibreOffice is one of the best at showing it. So if I go Libre, so there you go, there's a problem with Windows 10. Because I've clicked on something, it's decided that it knows better. So Libre Draw. Okay, so this is part of the free LibreOffice suite. So just maximize it. So it's fine, it's showing stuff, it's no big deal. You can't actually see this, this is so annoying. And I might try and make it dimmer. Let me just try and make it dimmer. Darkest, darker. There, you can't see it. I may bring this down in a moment and show you a bit more closely. But if I go to Format and Page, it's come up. Of course, during the live stream, it's come up. Okay, I don't know why it's come up. I may just have to just find something for you guys. Hang on. Let's see if this is it.
Right.
No, that's not it. This is it. This is it. Okay, guys, I am going to just bring up another part of the screen. I'm going to mute it. I need this. Let's show you what it was doing. Okay, so let me turn that on. So here is the book. This is unfortunately badly sized now. There we go. That's about right. Let's look what it did. Can you see what it did? This is, look, I'm moving the mouse cursor and the screen is utterly ruined. And there was no explanation for this. So Libre, LibreOffice. I'm just checking things here. So I'm trying to get LibreDraw. So there's LibreOffice Draw. So it's doing weird things. This is, once it was unhappy, it was very, very unhappy with me. So there we go. LibreOffice Draw. There it is. It's finally found it. So this is all Windows 10. This isn't the unit. This is just Windows 10 having issues. So we go. And look, it's opened and it's just all corrupt. And there's no reason. The other app was fine. The other things were fine. Just strangeness. So I decided that I needed to turn it off and on again. So I did a restart and I watched this thing restart. I was very unhappy with this, doing it. After the restart, it was fine. Okay, after the restart, it was fine. And right now, it's fine. But it did this, and there was no reason for it. What actually happened was, down here I had a notification that the graphics driver had crashed. The graphics driver had crashed, and therefore it could not continue. And right now, there's no explanation as to why it's carried on, but it did. And it's going to make me out to be a liar, which is why I'm glad I took that video. So, yeah, Impracticality. This is terrible, this port. Now, this is the display port here. So we've got the charging port. And as you can see, I've snaked the power off backwards. The power can go either way, it's fine. The display port would obviously be out of use if this was the other way around, but this display port and display port is fine. It works fine. Okay, so impractical is this. You can't really have these buttons pressing on it. This is the on-off button, the power and volume up and down buttons. And the pen only sticks to there. So that's the top. Auto rotate has been flaky. This is a $1,300 machine, a £1,300 machine. It should not be out-rotated by £130 worth of Alcatel smartphone. You know, this is the Lucian Alcatel X AT&T. This is a piece of shit compared to this. I think it's a fantastic phone, but I think this should be better. Okay. Lightness, fantastic for travel. Storage, terrible for travel if you don't use the online stuff. If you use the online stuff, you're stuck to Wi-Fi unless you buy the USB problem, which you then go around carrying more wires. Mouse is preferable for a programmer. I'll be honest, a mouse is preferable for a programmer, but this works absolutely fine. The other thing, of course, is, I can't remember what we've got here. We turn these keys here, muck about with just the brightness of the keyboard. I thought they did the brightness of the whole screen, but they don't. The brightness of the whole screen is controlled by this button here, or the ambient light signal. So these just actually work on the brightness of the keyboard. It does burn power like this, and it goes off. It turns itself back off after a while, and then lights up when you touch the keyboard again. So if you're programming in the dark and can't see what you're doing, or you're low light situation, it's a bit odd, but I actually quite like this feature that you can turn it on and off with the clicker feature. I mean, it's all about show, and I will cover this in my rant, but this is a good machine for online, for Facebook, for small games, for taking notes if you need to, word processing, email, on the move. Fantastic. This is not a workstation, and it doesn't pretend to be a workstation, but what it does pretend to be is a tablet, and it's not good at being a tablet, and it pretends to be a netbook, and it's okay at being a netbook, and it pretends to be a laptop, and some of these impracticalities are proving it not to be the best laptop. And for £1,300, I really want the best laptop, and I think, as much as I really like how this looks, how it performs, I think that there are better options for £1,300 out there. So it's practically imperfect. It looks fantastic. This is conspicuous consumption defined. Yeah, this is all you could want for in fancy schmancy, really pretty Windows machines. but it's not the best. That's another problem as well. Is if you're typing away, this can rock. This can move quite a lot. I am yet to fully appreciate the machine. I've used it for the 3 days last week. I've used it just now, and I'm going to use it in a minute. I'm actually going to stream from it soon, so I'll test these cameras out, see what they look like. I'll use the other camera to take some other footage, but this is all that's going to come from this now. So Mary Poppins hasn't got this on the top of her tape measure. It is not perfect. It does, I think, according to their website, pretend to be perfect, but it's not perfect. Right. So let me now pick up my rant. Now it's on, I think this. Here it is. So I'm not sure how long this is. It's 15 minutes. So the last 15 minutes of this stream will be me talking to you from yesterday. Hello. This is probably my first and maybe only time you're going to find me out and about. I'm actually waiting for someone. So I'm in the car and I'm on the phone. So I'm holding the camera there. Wherever the camera in. Oh, it's actually there. Look. Hello. And I'm here. I've been doing all sorts of bits and bobs, and you may have seen my live stream about unboxing the Microsoft Surface Book. I actually got to using it for the first time for a whole day in the office yesterday. I put aside my work provided workstation, which is just a Dell, and went with the Microsoft Surface Book. And do you know what? It was good. It's a good unit. Okay, if you want to browse that net, and if you want to be on Facebook and play a bit of Minecraft and show off by having this swanky machine in front of you that costs at least £1,300, though it's on offer right now for £1,000, it's the book to get. It's the thing to get. But it really, really is just conspicuous consumption. Okay, now, first of all, under any, even sat idle really, but under any load, playing video, I was word processing on it, it just goes horribly hot, like burning hot. The processor, as you look at it, is in about the bottom center of the screen, and it is so hot, it's untrue. This is a touchscreen, remember? It's just so hot. And then the moment it starts spinning up this fan, you can feel this all around the edge. It's blowing air. Not that you hear it whistling, but you know it's there and you can tell it's doing it. And it's like, am I imagining that? Is there an AC hiss in the room, or is it really on? And then to add insult to injury, you can run your fingers, and I'll have to demonstrate this in a different video. You can run your fingers gently over the polished metal. And I tried this with 3 different people. 3 different people came up to this machine while it was in this condition, while the fan was running, and they ran their fingers over the brushed aluminium or whatever it is, and they could feel the vibration of that fan. You could feel it. So when you're sat typing away with your palm on the unit and your palm's doing these little shuffling movements and things, not that you have to, but I do, you can feel it. You can really feel this really, really annoying thing. Anyway, sorry, because I'm sat in a car park, I'm actually blogging to no one. Anyway, and there's a woman parking up wondering what the hell I'm doing. So yeah, this book, I actually was using Visual Studio. I was then word processing. When I was word processing, and I hope to insert the video here, the video driver crashed, and whenever it crashed, it left a horrible mess. And I wasn't doing anything exotic. I was word processing, not with a Microsoft product. I, of course, did not choose to take Word with this because why would I? Why would I spend money? So I put LibreOffice on it, and LibreOffice did it. So I took LibreOffice off, and I put OpenOffice on, and OpenOffice did it as well. And what it specifically did was, the part of Office was the Draw program. You open the Draw program, you go into the page layout, and the page layout window is horribly corrupt, and the driver crashes in both products. So I need to look into why that's doing it. Obviously, they are open sourcing and have a look. The second piece was that I'm gonna put my finger there because you're gonna wonder what the hell I'm doing. I started programming, and you'd do a build, you'd step into processing things, this, that, and the other, and I got really annoyed with the function key. Now, the function key lets you select whether the F keys are F keys or the F keys are doing something. And when I chose that the F keys were doing something, which was sort of the brightness up and down, sound up and down, mute, things like that, it was fine. When I then thought I was back into the F key, sometimes I was, sometimes I wasn't. It depended which window was on the screen, which is a problem. So that really annoyed me. And the third thing was it has something called a ambient light monitor. It would monitor the light around you. Like, this is quite bright now, and if the sun came to the window and shone into the room, it would slightly dim the screen for some reason. And obviously I get it because I use my phone outside and I know how hard it is to see on an LCD in direct sunlight and things like that. We all remember the original Nintendo Game Boy using the giant magnifiers and the bright lights. Anyway, spin forward, and I've got this thing, and it's going, and the sun is coming through dappled drapes and dappled Venetian blinds. And the screen is up and down in brightness, and you can see it. You can see it paging the brightness up and down. Oh, what a pain! It was a real turn off. Other problems, physical problems. The two left-hand side USB ports too close together to take a device in either at the same time. Unless you've just got the USB header on the end of a cable, you aren't going to get anything into those devices. And even then, they both have to be a cable, because if one is a cable and one is, say, a memory stick, and the edge of that stick sticks out just half a gnat's wing too far, it ain't going in. And because it's metal, what's going to give? Is it going to be the metal case, or is it going to be your board inside that case that you can't repair, that's sealed in? Yeah, it's your board that's in that case that's sealed in that's going to go. It's going to just break the port in there, and it really annoyed me. So I thought, well, maybe this is for meetings. Maybe this is for people that want to go into a meeting and be seen to have a fancy machine. And that's certainly what the person that I work for, the MD, has actually bought one for, because he wants to go into meetings and take notes. So whip out the pen, whip out the tablet bit, take the tablet bit off, rotate. Do you wish to go into tablet mode? Yes. What does my tablet do? What does this phone do if I rotate it? Well, when it's set to auto rotate, it auto rotates. So I go to auto rotate this thing. I turn it. Nothing. Turn it back. Nothing. Back again. Nothing. And this is Windows 10, so everything's hidden for me. I have no idea how it works properly. So I slide out the right hand side. I pick settings. I pick all settings. I pick display. I pick, unlock rotation. Do not lock that goddamn rotation. Do not lock it. Let me rotate this thing around and around. Let me go on the pirate ship and see this thing fly. No. Don't do it. Don't want you to do it. Doesn't even acknowledge that it can do it. So, bit of a waste. I manually set it to vertical and stand with it like a sheet of paper. This thing's too big, too heavy. It's not gonna work as a tablet. It's awkward to hold. You're constantly feeling like you're gonna drop it. It just gets really, really annoying. And that's just the lid. If you put it back on the base and fold it down flat, because you can reverse it. You can reverse the thing, which we'll cover in my next usage video. You can reverse it. You put that back on and you fold that down flat. Now you've got the base as was, the hot top with the keys. That heat's going onto the keys. God knows what it's going to do to the plastic of the keys. First of all. Second of all, it's now quite oddly shaped, because when you're using it in, portrait mode, you've got a fat end. You've got that long, it opens like this and leaves a circular piece, well, not circular, but semicircular piece that is the hinge. Yeah. So you've closed that hinge and you've got a fat end and a thin end. Now, if I'm holding it in my left hand,
I'm therefore doing declare all the way around this thing. I'm trying to hold it up. I'm trying to then write with my other hand. Not successful. The next thing I noticed was that the few writing apps that come with it, one of them is a PDF thing. You can put in text box things, but I wanted to write in my handwriting. I always make notes. This is something that I'm sorting out for this Office of the Future series that I've got, and I want to just write notes. And there was no. I need to write on line paper. Sorry, I do. There was no obvious way of getting a lined paper background up so I could just paint on it, just draw on it, just write on it. And then the page that did come up, it wasn't A4, it wasn't A3, it was A0. It was a huge piece of paper. So you're writing on it, these gigantic letters. I am writing on a piece of paper. But you write a little. I prefer narrow line paper. I prefer little tiny writing. I've got, really nice small handwriting for this. And I carry around, there must be 5 different notebooks now with all my different notes in it for the past couple of years worth of work in it. Current projects, things I'm working on, they all get carried around with me in my briefcase and, carry case. So I wanted this thing to replace all of that. Put them in there. Why do I have to carry all these pieces of paper? Nah. You have to really emphasize the writing and any little nuances, any cursive script, and it cuts the corners off. It cuts them off. Oh, such an annoyance. And then it's lagging behind. So if you do an A, around, I'll do it the right way for me. I don't know if it's going to record this the right way. Around, back, up, and down. We've all done the fucking thing. We all know that. We all remember that light pen drawing out the characters. Nah. You can't write like that. You have to. And I ended up pulling faces like this. Just not right. And then other standard applications like Paint didn't have like the palm cancelling, so you'd come in close to the screen and you'd have bits of black dot where the paint thing was. So I thought, okay, maybe I'm using it wrong, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'll open up the dedicated Paint app, the app that is on the advert for this book, on the television, on YouTube, all over the place. Pick it up, get the tiger picture up, start playing around with the thing. Don't look like it. Ooh. And then I'm working out, I can scrub the paint. I can scratch the paint, all this stuff. But, I'll show the missus this later. She'd enjoy trying to play this, trying to muck about with this. I'll get back later. I'll try and reset everything back to normal for that picture. You've not saved this picture, so you can't do it. You can't save it. I went on the internet. How do I get these pictures back to the original state? You can't really do that. The best I got was to completely reinstall. You joking me? You've given me like example files, and then you let me the paint. I'm not pressing save. I'm not selecting file save. I just mucked about on the thing and closed it. F4, Alt F4. I just closed the thing. No, it's been saved. You've changed your bits and bobs. It's saved. So I've ruined not one, not 2, but all 3 example pictures in that application are ruined because I showed it 3 different people and I didn't want to show them the shit I'd done on the first one, so I showed the next person. I didn't want to show them the shit I'd done on that one, so I showed the next person the next one. And they're ruined because this machine is just fucking annoying. So then the next thing is, I installed it, and you saw this on my opening thing, I installed it and linked it to my Microsoft account. Big mistake. Shouldn't have done that. Cortana got involved. Excuse me. And she's a bitch. She just doesn't want anything to go her way. She doesn't want me to not use Bing. She likes Bing. Bing is shit. I went and tried to find answers about the book. I went to Microsoft's website about the Microsoft Surface book, and I went into their search box, their Bing search engine, and I asked it questions, and it couldn't answer its arse from its elbow. So I went to Google. And Googled something about the Microsoft Surface book, and Google had the answer. They had the link to the Microsoft page. Useless. And it's been useless for years, Microsoft. Years. So spin back forward. I'm using this machine. I'm word processing on it. I'm programming on it. The batteries go flat. Now the batteries were flat when I got it, and I gave it the benefit of the doubt that it took hours and hours and hours and hours to charge. It took like 5 hours to charge up properly. So it's at 100% when I started using it after maybe, how long now? I'm going to be honest. So 10, 11, 12, 1 through. So 4 hours of playing video, nothing else, just idle and video. And then I did 2 hours of programming and 2 hours of word processing and 25 minutes of file copying. Batteries are flat. Don't consider that a lot of work. Excuse me again. I don't consider watching video hard work. We're not talking full screen video. We're not talking high definition video. We were talking, I'll be honest, old episodes of Pokemon on YouTube. Beggars belief. It just beggars belief. This is a £1,300 machine, and the work it did was minimal. This is a Core i5 processor. Maybe that's where the power was going and into the processor and the memory. I don't know. But it's ridiculous. So fast forward. What else did I do with it? Well, I did reverse it. I did play about with it. I did muck about with it with the pen. It was fine. Can't write with it. Can't draw with it. Even the diagrams I drew were not satisfactory. And I'm going to sneeze now. This is just not my day. So, yeah. The Microsoft Surface Book. So far, not impressed. Certainly not for 1,300 quid. Glad I...
Right, and there you go. That's the end of that rant from yesterday. So I recorded that yesterday. In that rant, I did point out 2 things that were important. The first one was reversing this unit, actually reversing it around. I didn't point out, did I, that I can reverse it the other way. So if we do that now, actually. So here's another problem as well. Okay, I'm right-handed. So if I just show you, okay, I want to pick this up by this side. So if I press here, I can't pick it up. So I try and detach it, and I bang it on the table. It's really annoying. So yes, I'll go into tablet mode. It's now in tablet mode, and I can turn this around the other way, and I can put it down on there. Okay. This is now docked. It's upside down, but it's docked. Okay. Now the first thing you saw me do there was, can you see this here? This is the volume. I'm pressing the volume because I pushed it away from me. Okay. This way up, it would be fine. But again, because it's laying flat, it doesn't know which way is up. So this is the problem I was having before. It's now realised which way is up. So I had to do that. Okay, so it's got a fresh paint. This was the application I was talking about where everything's ruined now. And I'm not going to ruin another one. In fact, I'm not even going to run the app. Let's exit the app. Let's go back into the PDF viewer. So we were in here before, and I am now able to write away. So if I just zoom out, file, new document. So here's the A0 thing I was talking about. So this is quite a big page. I want that pen. I don't know what pen that is. So I'm going to just, can I pick that pen up and put it on there? So pen 2. Now, I don't know if you definitely can't see it, I don't think, but if I put this close to the top, can you see, if I move this up, if you watch, just behind this, you'll see, can you see just behind it there's a white dot? You can just see it. In fact, let me move this down. Move this down to this level. So I'll now be a left-hander. Can you see the white dot? That's touching. But you see how the white dot is behind the pen? You're not imagining that. It has to catch up. Okay, the refresh rate is not fantastic. You can see the dots. Yeah, this is less poll rate than my mouse. Okay, so if I come to write with something, I use pen 20. You can't see what I'm doing. Let me take this over here and try not get a cable in the way. So unfortunately, you're not going to look upside down. So I can scrub this out. So let's actually write something. So this is not my handwriting. So we can write the word dog. So I actually cut the G there. What it does is it cuts corners. It's actually not so bad right now. It may be because I'm plugged in. So I'm going to cut being plugged in. You see the screen get dimmer straight away. Oh, damn it. I didn't want that to happen. But it did. Well, there's a live test for you folks. It hasn't marked the screen in any way. The screen is quite tough. I wouldn't like to really smack it in any way. But let's just... So I'm actually able to... With my finger it's a lot easier to move the page around. So let's write something here. So it's cut the bottom of the F off because it missed it. And look at the skewing. This is an I. This is the word Microsoft. So if I write it like that, you can spot it a lot better. It doesn't feel right. I may need to get used to it some more, but it does not feel right. It feels clunky. And I don't know, it may just be showing up my handwriting or lack of ability. So I don't like the way it's got dimmer. So if I now make it lighter. You're not imagining that on the camera, by the way. It does take an amount of time to get brighter. So that was what it was doing on the when the sun was coming through. But that's now docked in this direction. So if I actually shuffle you back a bit, this is where it gets hot. So if we now detach, flick, reattach. So it doesn't want to go. So this is the other problem I've had. That doesn't want to go in there neatly. It really doesn't like it. If you're ever so slightly off, it really doesn't like it. So we've exited tablet mode, and we'll lift you guys back over here. I do apologise for the squeaky sound that makes as it moves around. So yeah, we can do it again. We can detach. Much better that way round to remove with my left arm, but I'm constantly feeling like I'm going to drop it. Constantly unhappy with it. It's too big to handle. You're trying to hold on to it, and if I, like I said, if I run, there's no way of typing now. So if the app's not already somewhere I can find it, I'm stuffed. So don't want most used. I want. Does the mouse still work? The mouse still works. So that's interesting. I didn't actually know that until just now. The mouse still works. All apps. So MS Paint doesn't come up under MS Paint. It is not under P either. I know MS Paint is on this machine because I've run it. So let's dock it again. Start. So there's Paint in desktop app. There it is. Microsoft Paint in all its glory. Let's detach again. I'm not going to bother about rotating it, so it's rotated on its own. Okay, so if we now come back to here, and so it's drawing with my finger, unlike the other apps. Okay, so it's drawing with my finger. As you'd expect Paint to do. Paint would do this. So that was definitely behind. And you can't actually read it. There we go. We can just read it now. Look how slurry and skewed this looks. That's zealous. But because the mouse was behind us, instead of being able to go as I know I did, because I do that a lot, it cut the corner. So instead of being able to do an elegant E, you can do elegant E's, but only if you really take a moment to give it a moment. And I've got to get the angle right so you guys can see this. I do apologise, but you know, it looks fantastic, but it isn't as good as you think it is. Okay, so it's changed size there. It shouldn't have done that. It's actually done it the size it was that way, but in portrait mode. So if we try and draw now, so that wasn't me. Okay, have you guys ever seen a speech jammer? A speech jammer is where you've got a phone or a tablet, you plugged your headphones in, you run the speech jammer, and it listens to you on the microphone and plays your own voice back to you, ever so slightly behind, and you can't speak. When I'm writing with this, because the pointer is ever so slightly behind where I am, yeah? It's so hard to show you it, but that line is coming up behind the point of the pen. It really is, and it's just enough to throw you off. It really does throw you off. Okay, now I'm struggling to hold this now. My arm is resting on the arm of a chair, and I'm resting it on my rather fat belly, but it would get on my nerves, and I'm constantly worried about dropping it. Okay, it won't. There we go. It sits in lovely, so we're attached again, no problem. You know, it is a beautiful piece of kit. I cannot say it's not beautiful, because it is. It is beautiful. Is it practical? No. This really does let it down. These buttons let it down. These ports are the worst I have seen in a long, long time. They are bad. The vibration thing, you literally, what I was talking about is you literally can do this, and you can feel the vibration of the heat when it's under load. It was problematic, to say the least. Performance has been excellent. Storage, not good. Storage is, I can't even review it. I cannot tell you how good or bad the storage is because it does not count. I am carrying SD cards. I am using memory sticks because I cannot use the online cloud stuff. That is my personal preference. You can use the cloud stuff all you want, but I cannot do it. It's standard Windows 10. I still don't know all the quirks of Windows 10. So, ports bad, sound bad, buttons bad there, keyboard a little bit funky with these F keys. These up and down are terrible for programming with. This is fine, functional, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would say get a Bluetooth mouse, and then of course the problem we've got is how much junk you're going to carry this machine. Yeah, and then the charging port on here is pointless. This is going to be on the floor all the time. That's also incredibly hot still. It is really warm. Okay, charging time was appalling, by the way. So we're going to plug it back in. There we go. I'll just let you see it. So it's just a double prong thing. It can go either way. It's in, and the little light came on, and it got brighter. It's fine. I don't like the light sensor thing. I'm going to look at a way of turning that off, but I can't review it negatively. It is a feature. It is something on the system. As we say in Microsoft programming or any programming, it's fine. It's certainly functional. So yeah, this is part 2 or number 1 of my actual Practicality reviews. But this is part 2 of my review of this. I'm going to review some more. I'm going to at least give this another week, both at home and in the office. I'm going to get back to you next week about it. So that's Friday next week, Saturday maybe. The week after, I'm not going to do anything. The week after that, I'm not going to do anything. So we're talking in a fortnight. So I've used this for a grand total of 3 weeks and 4 days. A month, effectively. So after that month, I'm going to let you know what I think in a bit more detail. If you find me streaming from it, I will let you know if I'm streaming from this or the main machine. Going forward, I will review again in 3 months, 6 months, and in a year's time. For now, this has been a very long stream, nearly an hour a minute. It's my longest stream so far for this. I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope some of you have found the information I've got interesting. I hope you can stick around for more. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you're really interested in, one of these, think about what you're going to use it for. Just to recap, I did get this free for review from the Amazon Vine program. I have to tell you that. I told you in the first video. It's linked below. Bye bye.